Hey, what's up, Tamers? It's me, Gino. And I was brave or foolish enough to bring Deep Savers to Ultimate Cup. So I'm going to do one of these deck talk videos. Varney did one with Nature Spirits. It's funny that I'm also doing one of the family style decks. It wasn't planned. I really like this deck. I really like playing this deck. And I thought I don't know, I wanted to see how it could do like actually into the meta. Because I think Digimon is a really strong card. It does some really cool things. In fact, I think there are a couple of strong cards in this deck, the other main one being the Metal Seadramon Ace. And we'll get into the deck profile at the end. And before that, though, this is the deck talk style, so I'm just gonna like talk about the deck and talk about some of my matchups. But yeah, Deep Savers. It's cool. As Varney was saying, all of the good pieces in this deck are blue. You can run your blue consistency pieces, your mem boosts, and your trainings. And that is what I did. I did include one not blue card, and I think I'm gonna bump it to 2 because it's kind of important. We'll talk about that later though. But yeah, the whole deck's game plan is to build your Digimon stack and then shut off your opponent's on plays and make all of your Digimon immune. So the whole game plan is really just to build the Plesioman stack, then use the Plesioman effect to go into Digimon. And if you can't do that, you probably lose. And I went 3-3 in Ultimate Cup, and I also took it to TBL. In fact, funny story, the reason I decided to play it in Ultimate Cup is because I didn't know what I wanted to play, and I won TBL the night before with it. So I was like, you know what? I did pretty good. I think there's some strong cards in the deck. I think it would be fun to just play it for Ultimate Cup. And you know, I do think Ultimate Cup is like it's a prestigious competition, and I think if you can top an Ultimate Cup, like more power to you. But let's just say if there was an invite on the line, I would have played a stronger deck. But I went 3-3, then I dropped because I was actually very, very sick that weekend, and I was really just trying to power through. I was kind of struggling, to be honest with you. But yeah, deck's fun. I really like the deck. It has a couple of pain points though. Let me pull up what I was talking about pulling up real quick. This is completely unscripted. I apologize if it's not a good video because I'm not a good unscripted guy. I like having people to riff off of and talk about stuff with. I don't know. That's just how I am. A couple of things that I think would really elevate this deck. One, and I think all the field decks could use this, is a champion that plays your field spell, your like Deep Savers card. Like champions do that with tamers all the time. I don't think it's too much of a stretch to have an on Evo, if you don't have Deep Savers in your security, face up, play one from your hand, or use one from your hand, right? I think all of the field decks could use that. I think that would be fine. Another thing we really need is, I really wish we had a Seadramon, a level 4 Seadramon that said, on play, if this was played from sources, evolve into Mega Seadramon in your hand. Because that would elevate your Plesio play. You could get into Digimon a lot easier and a lot faster. And the main thing I think that makes this deck kind of suck is when you look at other meta decks, right? They all have removal at the level 5 or even the level 4. This deck does not have any removal until you hit Digimon, or you're risking the ace, right? And the ace makes sense. The ace is the trade-off, right? But there's no removal up to that point. So you're not fighting for board at all until you go into Digimon. So you pretty much always have to clap back and hope that your opponent hasn't created a stronger board that you can't deal with, or God forbid they have a protection that you can't get around. Then it's really rough. Because the deck can do a lot of early chip and early damage, but it's also very easily removed because it doesn't have protection or anything until Digimon hits the board. And Digimon is just so important. And since it's a level 7 DNA, it means that you need to find many pieces to get there and many resources to set yourself up for the turn where you can get into it. Or you're passing your opponent a lot of memory, and then Digimon's effects don't even really matter because they can deal with it before passing the memory back over to your side. So yeah, those are the main things. For TBL, the decks I played against were, the deck I lost against was Dinosaurs, Dinomon. Again, the deck Dinomon just goes faster than me. And if I can't crack back with an Aegistramon play, then I can't really do anything. Aegistramon is strong against Dinomon, and so is the Metal Seadramon, but I'm pretty sure that his level 5s are 8 costs. So even if you Mega Seadramon Ace, you can't D-Digivolve and bounce it. And a lot of the time they might have the protection from the Metal Tyranno anyway, so D-Digivolve doesn't even really matter. And Dinomon just does a lot of damage quickly. The decks I played against in TBL, I played against Tyrant Kabuterimon, I played against Mirage Galgamon, and I played against, I want to say Dexdorugoramon, but I'm not 100% sure. The deck does good things. It completely shuts down Tyrant Kabuterimon because Aegistramon is immune to Digimon effects once the memory passes to my side, which is when Tyrant is doing things anyway. And if Tyrant wanted to use the end of turn swing at one of my guys, the memory's passed to me anyway. If I have Deep Savers in my security, I'm immune to being deleted in battle, which is really good. Yeah, like, I can outswarm Tyrant. I don't really have to deal with him. I can just go around him. If they don't set up fast enough, I can get a whole bunch of checks early and then just close out the game with Swarm. So that's pretty good. What was the other deck that I said I played against? Mirage. Mirage was really... I really got lucky with Mirage. I played against an opponent who wasn't ready for my deck, didn't know what my deck did. And I was able... He played into my ace cards, and I was just able to win that way, basically. But Aegistramon's a strong card, man. So for Ultimate Cup, we'll talk about my matchups quick, and then I'll jump into the deck profile and show you what I'm running, what I think of each card, what you could be running instead, and the changes that I'm going to probably make to this deck. So for Ultimate Cup, my round 1 was a Gallantmon. I got O2'd. I lost that one. Basically, Gallantmon just goes really fast, and I wasn't able to build an Aegistramon stack fast enough. In the second game, I could not find Aegistramon, even though I run 4 of them. So I had the setup. I could have DNA'd at any point. I just needed an Aegistramon in hand, and I just never found it. Round 2 was a no-show, so I took an easy 2-0 win. Round 3, this always happens to me and Dan. I got matched up with Dan. He was playing Millenniummon, and not only did he brick, which is rough, but once I build Aegistramon, Millenniummon can't do anything to me. Because if the memory's on his side, he can't do on plays, which is what Millenniummon thrives on. And if the memory passes over to my side, then he can't actually use any of his Digimon effects to deal with any of my bodies. So there's really nothing you can do once Aegistramon is on the board. And I also did have pretty fortunate hands those games, so I was able to quickly get into Aegistramon both games, and there's just not much Dan could do. And again, he did brick, so it is what it is. Round 4, I went 0-2 against Purple Hybrid Beelstar. This is a miserable matchup, because a lot of the deck, you're doing jamming or jamming checks, right? Because Deep Savers makes you immune to being deleted in battle, so it's essentially jamming, as long as the memory flips on your side. So basically every other swing was a kill spell, because Purple Hybrid Engine with the Beelstar stuff, he was playing the Mother Blocker Shoto, which I don't actually care about, because again, I can't be deleted in battle. So I'll just swing to force him to pull the blockers out, and then I can keep going. But unfortunately, I was hitting security options, and I can't do anything. Aegistramon is not immune to security. It is not immune to options, so it just gets blown the fuck up every time by security options, and just options from hand, the Beelstarmon. And I was having a hard time building the Aegistramon stack because I was going for those early checks before he could get Shoto Mother blockers out, and it was not working out for me. He had at least 3 kill spells in the one game, and the other game I don't know. I couldn't deal with it. So it is what it is. Round 5, I won against Fenrilugamon 2-1. This deck can actually go pretty fast if you push it to go fast. You can get a lot of bodies out and a lot of swings quickly. And if they don't answer your board, or if they can't answer your board, you can just bum rush them down. I did a little bit of testing against Fenry before taking it to TBL Ultimate Cup. And sometimes you literally just can go faster because you're doing so many jamming checks very quickly. And Fenrir just didn't have time to find all of his pieces, you know? That's kind of the story of Fenrir, though. You either find all your pieces and you win, or you don't and you do nothing all game, right? And then the last round, and the round I dropped, this one kind of stings. It was against Rocks, the Pyramidimon deck. The reason why this one stings is because the game that... So I lost 1-2, and the games that I lost, the first one, I misplayed huge. He had a Pyramidimon stack, and I should have aced on his first swing. I don't know why I didn't. But he aced in a way, or he used his Pyramidimon's effect in a way to where I couldn't de-digivolve it because it was just a lone stack. And I realized I had fucked up at that point. So that was one misplay. And then another misplay I did was I had one or more memory and a Mega Seadramon that could swing. And I should have swung to stun down his stack that he had. But I did something else first and put the memory at 0, and I had no way to gain a memory. So I just kind of fucked myself there, unfortunately. And then the last game, I could have and would have won if I just had Metal Seadramon Ace in my hand. I had 3 of them in the deck, which I'm probably going to bump to 4, by the way. I had 3 of them in the deck, and I was digging, could not find them, and he was able to Pyramidi pop off. But if I had the Metal Seadramon, I could have just aced him, and he would have lost. It was simple as that. I just didn't find it, and it was what it was. So that covers all my matchups. I talked a little bit about the deck, and I'll talk more about the deck now as we go over the card list. We're running the BT7 Bukamon egg over the Deep Savers Bukamon. The Deep Savers Bukamon egg is just not good. It would have helped me in that Pyramidi match that I messed up. Because it says when attacking, if you have 0 memory, gain a memory, and it's only once per turn. If it wasn't once per turn, I'd consider playing the egg, but it's rare that you're at 0 memory, honestly, when you're swinging. So a lot of times it doesn't matter. If you're at 0 memory, you probably have a memory boost banked that you can just burn so that you can get your protection effects off Aegistramon or the pseudo jamming off the Deep Savers. So instead of running the Bukamon when you play a Digimon from a source, gain a memory, this is basically, there's 2 ways that this egg is really good. The one is Plesiomon. It makes your Plesiomon play 1 cheaper, so you can push out Evo into Plesiomon, play a body out. That's a 2-cost Evo, basically. And it's also really good for the turn. So that Plesio turn, it should be the turn that you're also going into Aegistramon. And it basically means that you're going to gain 2 memory from the egg, because you're going to use the Plesiomon effect, play a body, gain a memory, and then when you DNA, it becomes a new Digimon, so this Inheritable is active again. So when Aegistramon spits out more bodies from DNAing, you're going to get another memory. So you can actually make your memories, you can actually make your plays very efficient, and combined with some of the other gain memory cards in the deck, you can actually like really pop off on memory. You can expect to gain about 2 memory every turn when you play this deck. And yeah, so Bukamon's really good for that. I would not play any other egg. For the rookies, we're running 4 copies of Crabmon. Non-negotiable. He's a Deep Savers rookie with jamming, which makes him very valuable. Jamming is the inheritable, I should say. And then on play, one of your Digimon gain blocker. This is good for stalling. This is good for defense. It's good to play off of the Aegistramon. When you use the Plesiomon effect, it says DNA and then you may swing. So you have to resolve that whole effect first. So you DNA into Aegistramon, swing, and then you use Aegistramon's when attacking or when digivolving effect to play out 2 sources. So you can play out the Mega Seadramon that unsuspends Aegistramon and the Crabmon that gives it blocker. So now you have Aegistramon, who is currently mid-attack, so attacking unsuspended and as a blocker. So the Crabmon Mega Seadramon is like the ideal line for it. The next rookie we're running, also probably non-negotiable, is the Searcher rookie. This is your Gomamon. The inheritable is not very good. If you have 7 or fewer cards in your hand, draw 1 when attacking. You don't use it. You don't usually have a small hand size in this deck. If you're running Shu Yulin, or not Shu Yulin, oh my god. If you're running Yao Qinglan, you can dump your hand into your Digimon so that you can activate this when attacking a little more often, but I don't really think that it's really worth it. The good thing about this Gomamon is that he is a Dig 3 Searcher and he grabs a Sea Beast or Plesiosaur and a Deep Savers card. So you're always going to hit a Deep Savers card, almost always basically. And the best thing is that he hits your really important level 6 in the Plesiomon, because you really need to see the Plesiomon to do your Aegis DNA play. He also grabs himself because he's a Sea Beast, so he's a rookie that can search a rookie. This one I'm kind of on the fence about. This is 4 copies of Sangomon. Sangomon digs 3 and adds a Liberator and a Sea Animal. The only Liberator card we're running in this deck is this card at this moment. Again, if you run the Yao Qinglan, then you can, grab her with this. But your whole deck is aquatic except Plesiomon. So if you see Plesiomon off this search, that really sucks. What's really good about Sangomon, though, is the end of attack gain a memory. You are swinging a lot in this deck. And if you have the Deep Savers, like you're swinging a lot early, I should say, in this deck. So if you have the Deep Savers option card, then so the ideal stack, right, is you have Deep Savers and Security, you have the Sangomon, and then you have the Seadramon on top. The Seadramon, when attacking, gains a memory, and then Sangomon, end of attack, gains a memory. Boom, you're up 2 memory for doing a free check. Like, that's pretty good. If I was to cut any rookies, I kind of kicked myself. I was thinking I had submitted my list already, and it was past the deadline, but I wanted to play 2 Madoki Betamons for memory block. I don't actually care that that I didn't do that, because I didn't really feel the need to need a memory block at any point in time. It's just nice to be able to play it off the Plesiomon effect if you have it in your stack, or if you just really need to lock out your opponent from gaining memory. But ultimately, I think Sangomon was good. Sangomon does stuff. I really wish the Gomamon had a better inherit. All right, this is the, unsung hero of the deck. This is the EX8 Seadramon. When attacking, gain a memory and jamming inherit. This card is really good. Like, it is deceptively good. He helps you extend your plays so much. You are so often swinging with him. You either go Crabmon and then Seadramon, and then boom, your next turn you're going to gain a memory off of it when he swings. You're never choked with memory with this deck because of Seadramon. There's a lot that you can do thanks to Seadramon, and I really love the card. It's so simple, but it's so good. And you probably won't even understand how good it is until you start playing the deck and start trying it. He is a non-negotiable 4-of, in my opinion. Okay, next, this is our first non-Deep Savers card of the deck. He is still aquatic, though. This is 3 copies of Promo Seadramon. On play, when digivolving, one of your Digimon can't be deleted in battle to the end of your opponent's turn. And the inheritable effect, when an effect plays one of your other Digimon, one of your blue Digimon gain rush for the turn. This is the first card that I would cut to 2. I think I'm going to cut him to 2. He's good, but in your Plesio turn, right? Whatever you play, you want to play the level 4 out with the Plesio so that you can evolve it into Mega Seadramon for 3. And so you're going to miss out on his inheritable a lot of the time when you're doing stuff. It's so nice to have when you have it and when the situation works for you, but it doesn't happen very often. And a lot of the times you're just wishing you had a Deep Saver instead so that you can play more bodies off of Aegis Dramon. It really sucks if you have this in your stack, in your Plesiomon stack, and then you need to hard slam the Mega Seadramon or the Metal Seadramon Ace to do your DNA play, and then you realize you can't play this card out. And now your Aegis Dramon stack, it's kind of funky. You know what I mean? And the cards that you play out. So I want to go down to 2 on him, so that I can bump one of the other level 4s up to 2. But it is a good card. Like, there's no denying that it can do some crazy stuff. Next card we're running, this is exclusively to deal with Floodgates. This is 2 copies of the BT19 Shikumon. Forgive my pronunciation if that's incorrect. On play, when digivolving, bounce a level 3 to hand. I did not run into any situations where I really needed to floodgate. I did bounce at least one Ghazi with this effect, but he's literally just there to deal with the floodgates. Nothing more, nothing less. He is aquatic type, so he is an archetype. You can grab him off of Sango. He does have jamming and heritable, which is nice. This is the card I want to bump to 2. I was running just one copy of Coelamon. We'll call him Coelamon. On play when digivolving one of your opponent's Digimon. On play when digivolving, until the end of your opponent's turn, your opponent's effects can't reduce the DP of one of your DS traded Digimon or affect it with Digivolve effects. So this is nice to play out and protect your Aegistramon stack. But actually, the secret is the best part of this card is the inheritable effect, and that's blocker. Having this in your Aegistramon stack is nice, but what's really nice is to use the Whammon. We're going to see the Whammon soon, but Whammon gets to suck this up from the trash, and now when your opponent hits Deep Savers in security, you're set up to ace into a Metal Seedramon that has blocker. And that's really what makes this card so good. It sucks that it's black because it's not searchable off any blue stuff. You can only grab it off Gomamon, and he's not aquatic either. So you can't grab him off Sangomon. He's an ancient fish. So he's such an awkward piece, but he's also such a good piece, which kind of sucks. Real quick before I move forward, you could also play the purple cards. There's a Siakomon, a Gessomon, and the Marine Devimon. The fact that they're not blue just makes them bad. Siakomon and Gessomon both deal with level 3 Digimon. They have the inherited effect of when attacking, pop a level 3, so that's a good way to deal with your floodgates. But honestly, in this deck, floodgates are not the biggest deal, because, again, a lot of your removal is baked in Aegistramon, and it makes Aegistramon bottom decks before it spits out of the sources. So a lot of the time, floodgates aren't that much of a problem. And like I said, I put some other cards in here to deal with floodgates. So let's move on to level 5s. We're running 4 copies of This Is Your Best Level 5, the Deep Savers Mega Seedramon. On play when Digivolve, one of your Digimon unsuspends, which is very good. Allows you to be very aggressive. And then when attacking once per turn, if you have 1 or more memory, one of your opponent's Digimon can't suspend till the end of their turn. This locks down blockers, which is nice, because even if you can't be deleted by effects, or even if you can't be deleted in battle, it is nice to just lock down a blocker. And then the inheritable is when attacking by placing one of your other Digimon as this Digimon's bottom Digivolution card, he unsuspends, which is also nice. So yeah, you push out the Seedramon with the Sangomon, right? You swing, gain a memory, Sangomon end of attack, gain a memory, go into Mega Seedramon, unsuspend, probably have enough memory that turn to get another swing off. So really good card. And you need him for the Plesiomon effect, because the Plesiomon sees level 5 Mega Seedramon with the Deep Saver trait. So you really need him at 4. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Next, we're playing 3 copies of, I mentioned this earlier, the Whammon. On play when Digivolving, you may place 1 Digimon card with the Deep Savers trait from your trash as this Digimon's bottom Digivolution card. Again, ideally, you want to get the Coelamon underneath him. End of attack, once per turn, you may play 1 play cost 5 or lower Digimon with the Deep Savers trait from this Digimon's Digivolution cards without paying the cost. I'll be honest with you, that effect did not come up as often as I thought it would. It's rare that I was swinging with the Whammon. The inheritable effect is really nice though, which says your turn, this Digimon's attack target can't change. I got a lot of free chips in against mother blockers because you just can't change my attack target. Okay, so Whammon, really good card. He is your ideal target for a late game when they hit your last security and it's the Deep Savers card you put there. You tuck Coelamon, and then when they try to swing for game, you ace into Metal Seedramon ace, and then you block the attack. Good card. And then the last level 5 I'm running, I'm actually going to drop this down to 1 instead of 2 copies, was Mega Seedramon. I wanted another level 5 Mega Seedramon because of Plesiomon's effect. It's not a Deep Savers, so she doesn't see it on play. But It is also pretty good removal. The thing is, I was almost never using it for removal. I was just evoing it in the stack, and any not Deep Saver card in the stack is usually kind of bad. But this is on play when Digivolving by placing one of your other blue Digimon as this Digimon's bottom Digivolution card. Return one of your opponent's Digimon whose level is less than or equal to the place card's level to the bottom of the deck. And then it has the same inherited effect as this one, where you get an unsuspend when you tuck a source, but it does have to be blue with this card. This card says any Digimon, this one says must be blue. It's a good card. I'm not going to say it's not a good card. It just has a little bit of anti-synergy. Like I said, I'm going to bump it to 1 because I'd rather bump the Metal Seadramon up to 4. That's it for level 5s. Let's move on to level 6s. We're running 4 copies of This Needs to Be It for the Deep Savers Plesiomon. Beautiful art, by the way. I love the art on this card. This is one of the reasons why I played the deck, because I love the art so much. On Evo, you may play 1 level 4 or lower Digimon card with the Deep Savers. Or I'm sorry, not even Deep Savers. You play any level 4 or lower Digimon card from this Digimon's Digivolution cards without paying the cost. It does suck that it has to be this Digimon. And then when any of your Digimon are played or Digivolve, which counts this, so it sees its own Digivolve. If any of your Digimon have if any of the Digimon that were played or Digivolved have the Deep Saver trait, 2 of your Digimon may DNA Digivolve into a Digimon card with the Deep Savers trait in the hand. Then that DNA Digivolved Digimon may attack. So this gets a lot of damage out. You can swing with Plesiomon, swing with the other stack that you have that you're going to DNA with, if applicable, if it has Rush, or if you were just able to play it out, whatever. And then DNA into Aegastramon and get a 3rd check. So you can get a lot of checks off. And when Aegastramon comes out, he's probably going to unsuspend and be a blocker while also attacking an active. So good. The Bukamon was made for this Plesiomon, basically. So that Plesiomon is essentially a 2-cost Evo if you waited until it was Plesiomon time to push out, right? Again, I'm going to update this to 4 copies, but right now, the deck I ran had 3 copies of Metal Seadramon Ace. He is a 7-drop, which is strong. On play, when Digivolving, de-Digivolve 1, then return a play cost 7 or lower Digimon at the bottom of the deck. All turns, while your opponent has 1 or more memory, none of your opponent's Digimon can suspend, so it basically just shuts off blockers. I should say it shuts off blockers that are affected by Digimon effects, right? Really good card. Has aquatic trait, so it can be searched off of aquatic searchers. Plesiomon sees this because Aegastramon needs to DNA Digivolve with a blue level 6 and a black level 6 for our purposes, or a level 6 Plesiomon and a level 5 Mega Seadramon, basically, that have Deep Savers trait, and this does have the Deep Savers trait. So if you didn't find the Mega Seadramon, it's a little more risky, but you can hard slam the Metal Seadramon Ace and then DNA into Aegastramon then. If you need extra removal, that's also an option. Like I said, I'm going to drop this to 1 of and up this to 4 of. The big bad boss monster himself, this is really the reason I wanted to play the deck, Aegastramon. Again, DNAs from a blue or purple level 6 and a black or yellow level 6 for 0, or DNAs from a Plesiomon and a level 5 Seadramon in name for 0. On play, when Digivolving, you return up to 14 play cost Digimon to the bottom of the deck. Sometimes you just Evo for 5 to do this. And then if DNA Digivolving, you may play up to 12 play cost worth of Deep Savers traits from this Digimon's Digivolution cards without paying the cost. So that's a Whalmon and a level 3, or it's a Mega Seadramon and a level 4. Those are your choices. Ideally, you want to play out the Crabmon and the Mega Seadramon if you had them. And they do have to be Deep Savers cards, so you really want to try to get as many Deep Savers traded cards in your stack as possible. You can also do the Metal Seadramon Ace, because again, he is Deep Savers, so you can play a Metal Seadramon Ace and a level 4. All turns. While you have 1 or more memory, none of your Deep Savers Digimon are affected by opponent's Digimon effects. While you have 1 or less, none of your opponent's Digimon can activate on plays. I really can't talk about just how strong that effect is. It really makes your opponents think. I love this deck. This is one of my favorite decks right now, and it's because of how cool that effect is. I love Aegis-Dramon. I loved Aegis-Dramon from EX3, and I really love Aegis-Dramon from EX8. That's it for Digimon. Let's move on to options. I'm running 3. I think 3 is the perfect number of the Deep Savers option card. While you have no face-up option cards, you can ignore this card's color requirements. You can just slap this bad boy right into security. You basically add the top card of security to hand and then slot it in. And then while this is your face-up security card, if you have 1 or more memory, none of your Deep Savers Digimon can be deleted in battle. Just pseudo jamming. If they blitz into you with Gallantmon, you can block and you're fine. Or if they vortex, you can block and you're fine. Or get vortexed into and be fine. I've had that happen where my opponent be like, okay, Medieval Gallantmon, cool, I'm immune to your effects because I'm immune to Digimon effects. And like, okay, vortex into it. Okay, cool. I have Deep Savers, so I'm not affected by that either. And then the security effect, you may play a level 5 or lower Digimon card with Deep Savers straight from your hand without paying the cost. Again, your target's Whalmon. Play the Whalmon, tuck the Sheelamon, give it blocker, now blast into Metal Seadramon Ace. Then last couple cards are consistency pieces. We're running 3 copies of Blue Mem Boost. I just want to be able to dig. I want to have a memory refund. A lot of the time you're hard slamming for your Plesiomon turn. You evo into the Plesiomon, and then sometimes you have to hard slam the Mega Seadramon or the Metal Seadramon, and so the boost is a little better than the training. In fact, I'll just put it down now. 2 copies of training. So that's why I opted for a 3-2 split over the other way, because yes, you are digivolving a lot in this deck, but sometimes you really just need to hard slam stuff, and I think Blue Boost is better for that. Plus the extra dig is nice. So that's it. Those are my thoughts on Deep Savers. I really like the deck. I'm sorry if this wasn't the kind of video you were expecting. But yeah, I'm going to keep trying this deck. I'm going to make some changes to it and see what I can do with the deck, because I think the deck is strong. I know Aegis-Dramon and Metal Seadramon Ace are very strong. But this is probably the deck I'm going to play until I get my hands on Giga Seadramon. Man, I love fish. I just love fish. So yeah, those are my thoughts on Deep Savers. Let me know what you think in the comments about Deep Savers and how you would change this build, or what you've been running, or what you like or don't like. And yeah, I guess I'll see you guys all in the next one. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.